World War II, the war that broke the world. Subscribe now because what you are about to hear is not just history, it is the story of a world that broke twice, the first time in 1918 and the second time in 1939. It is the story of a humiliated nation, a bleeding continent, and a wound that never truly healed. This is not a story of superheroes. It is a story of human beings, leaders who made fatal mistakes, nations that chose fear over courage, and decisions that shaped the entire 20th century. To understand the Second World War, we must return to the end of the First. The year is 1918. The guns have fallen silent, but Europe is not at peace. It is groaning. Millions of bodies lie in the mud of the trenches. Cities are broken. Families are shattered. Children are born into a world that seems to have lost its future. Empires collapse one after another. Austria-Hungary disappears. The Ottoman Empire fades into history. Tsarist Russia is swallowed by revolution and civil war. And then comes the Treaty of Versailles. It is supposed to create peace, but instead it creates something much darker: revenge. Germany is stripped of territory. Its army is reduced. Its colonies are taken. Its economy is burdened with enormous reparations. To the victors, Versailles is justice. To millions of Germans, it feels like humiliation written in ink. A sentence imposed not only on a government, but on an entire people. And from that humiliation, one idea begins to grow: we will return, whatever the cost. France has won the war, but it is exhausted. Britain is victorious, but buried in debt. Russia is lost in revolution. And the United States, after helping decide the peace, turns away from Europe and retreats into isolation. In the ruins of this broken order, the League of Nations is created. It is meant to stop future wars, but it has no army, no real power, no force behind its promises. It is a voice without a body, a dream without teeth. For a while, people try to forget. In the 1920s, jazz plays in cafes, dance halls fill with music, cities glow with electric lights. But beneath the music, the wounds remain open. Then in 1929, the global economy collapses. The Wall Street crash spreads like an earthquake across the world. Banks close, factories stop, millions lose their jobs. Families that once lived with dignity now stand in lines for bread. The Great Depression is not merely an economic crisis, it is a spiritual collapse. When people lose work, they lose pride. When they lose pride, they search for a savior. Not always a savior who promises freedom. Sometimes they choose one who promises strength. In Italy, that man is Benito Mussolini. In Germany, it is Adolf Hitler. Hitler understands the anger of a defeated nation. He understands hunger. He understands humiliation. And he turns all of it into fuel. He promises the German people that their suffering is not their fault. He gives them enemies: the Treaty of Versailles, the politicians of the Weimar Republic, communists, Jews, foreign powers. He speaks not in calm policy but in rage. He tells Germany that it was betrayed. He tells Germany that it can rise again, and desperate people listen. In 1933, Hitler becomes Chancellor of Germany. Almost immediately, democracy begins to die. Political opponents vanish. Other parties are banned. The press becomes a weapon of propaganda. Schools are turned into factories of ideology. The Hitler Youth fills the streets. The Gestapo spreads fear. Anyone who criticizes the regime risks disappearing into the night. Germany is rebuilt in Hitler's image, not as a democracy, but as a machine of loyalty, a machine of hatred, a machine of war. Hitler tears up the restrictions of Versailles. He rebuilds the army. He creates a new air force. Factories begin producing tanks, aircraft, and weapons. Unemployment falls. The economy revives through rearmament. To many Germans, it feels like a miracle, but the miracle is built for war, and at the center of the new Germany is hatred. Jews are pushed out of jobs, stripped of rights, humiliated in public. Then in 1938, during Kristallnacht, synagogues burn, Jewish shops are smashed, and the streets become a theater of violence. The world watches, it protests. but it does not act. Hitler learns the same lesson again and again. The world is afraid. In 1936, he remilitarizes the Rhineland, directly violating Versailles. France could have stopped him, Britain could have supported action, but neither moves. In 1938, Hitler annexes Austria in the Anschluss. German troops enter without firing a shot. Crowds cheer. Europe protests weakly. Again, nothing happens. Then comes Czechoslovakia. Hitler demands the Sudetenland, claiming he is protecting ethnic Germans. Britain and France, haunted by the First World War, choose negotiation over confrontation. At Munich, they give Hitler what he wants. Neville Chamberlain returns to Britain waving a paper and declaring peace for our time, but it is not